On the afternoon of March 9th, 2026, the calm at Daegu Air Base was shattered as a colossal grey behemoth descended onto the tarmac. The letters UAE Air Force were emblazoned on its fuselage, and the flag of the United Arab Emirates was painted on its tail. The reason this Boeing C-17 Globemaster III made an unprecedented landing at a regional Korean airport was singular and profound. It had come to retrieve the legendary system that, during Iran's shocking aerial assault, obliterated incoming missiles, allowing for less than a 4% failure rate. Secured within its 77-ton airframe was something far more significant than a mere guided missile. It was the embodiment of South Korea's pure technological prowess, a system the wealthy nations of the Middle East have now entrusted with their very lives and the fate of their countries. It is the pride of a nation that is fundamentally reshaping the global defense market. The scene of the Cheongung-II, the guardian of Middle Eastern survival, being secretly loaded like precious cargo right next to peacefully departing civilian airliners, is the ultimate symbol that South Korean defense is no longer a global supplier, but a world-class game changer. On that night when the skies over the Middle East burned, the world's military experts were fixated on the trajectories of countless ballistic missiles lighting up their radar screens. But by the next morning, Middle Eastern media outlets and Western security journals alike began to report on the astounding performance of a South Korean shield. Dr. Abdul Khalik Abdullah, a renowned political scientist and presidential advisor in the UAE, declared to the world on his social media, "A sincere thank you to South Korea for swiftly providing 30 interceptor missiles to strengthen the UAE's missile defense systems against the Iranian attack. A friend in need is a friend indeed." This single statement was more than just a note of gratitude. It was a symbolic turning point, signaling that the center of gravity for Middle Eastern security was rapidly shifting from Western hegemony to Eastern technological supremacy. The American military journal Defense News, analyzing the crisis, concluded that the 96% interception success rate shown by the Cheongung-II had instantly vaporized all doubts about a Korean missile defense system that had previously lacked real-world combat data. The consensus among analysts is that when compared to the American-made Patriot system, which had long dominated the Middle East, the Cheongung-II holds an overwhelming advantage in operational simplicity and the flexibility of its launch platforms. The Emirates Policy Center, a leading Middle Eastern security think tank, noted in a report that South Korea's defense systems offer not just weapons, but a complete package of high-precision control technology and real-time data linkage, giving Korean-made weapons exceptionally high marks for reliability. The praise from international media is not mere hyperbole. While Israel's Iron Dome is specialized in defending against low-altitude rockets, South Korea's Cheongung-II is a masterpiece of advanced technology, engineered to destroy ballistic missiles plummeting at several times the speed of sound using direct-hit kinetic kill technology. The European defense journal Janes analyzed, South Korea is one of the very few nations in the world with its own indigenous ballistic missile interception system. By securing this combat data, it has now ascended to a unique position in the global market. Now, the world's biggest players, armed with hundreds of billions of dollars in capital, are watching South Korea's production lines with intense focus. The era of just selling hardware is over. Today, the contest is about who can guarantee a nation's survival with greater precision and greater certainty. And at the forefront of that battle are the passion and meticulous strategy poured into the technology by South Korean engineers working day and night. The UAE C-17 that landed at Daegu Air Base departed for Abu Dhabi, bearing the weight of that trust and carrying the pride of South Korea. This is not a simple export deal. It is the outcome of a monumental strategic decision by a nation to place its security destiny in South Korea's hands. In the defense industry, real-world combat data is an absolute asset, more valuable than anything else. When the UAE signed the contract, valued at approximately $4 trillion back in 2022, some Western skeptics questioned whether a Korean interceptor system could withstand the harsh realities of a Middle Eastern conflict. However, the astonishing 96% success rate recorded during the recent Iranian attack silenced all controversy in an instant. This figure represents an economic value that goes far beyond the simple result of a missile hitting its target. because each interceptor, costing billions of won per unit, completely prevented the astronomical losses that would have resulted from the destruction of critical national infrastructure. The oil money of the Middle East is no longer exclusively tied to expensive, unproven Western alternatives. The flow of capital is now making a sharp turn towards the most reliable insurance policy available, one proven in combat the defense industry of the Republic of Korea. To complete a single Cheongung-II battery, the titans of Korean defense move like a single organism. Lignex-1 builds the missile's brain, the Seeker, while Hanwha Aerospace manufactures its powerful propulsion system. To this, Hanwha Systems' multifunction radar and Kia's specialized tactical vehicles are integrated. This structure forms a vast economic food chain that connects thousands of partner companies and supports the livelihoods of tens of thousands of skilled workers in Gumi, Changwon, and Asan. That single transport plane that took off from Daegu Airport is the physical manifestation of our citizens' jobs and the economic security for thousands of families. A key competitive advantage that South Korea holds in the global arms market is its overwhelming productivity. While European defense contractors can take years to deliver an order, the Republic of Korea supplies its systems without ever missing a single delivery date specified in the contract. This reliability in delivery becomes the most powerful marketing asset, leading to future purchases of next-generation weapon systems like the LSAM or the KF-21. Some might hear the roar of a transport plane over Daegu and think of it as mere noise. But that roar is a victory cry, announcing to the world that South Korean technology has become a new standard in global security. The missiles we build protect the peace in the Middle East, and the capital that flows in as payment is reinvested into our future industries. We are now living in the era of a powerful South Korea, a nation that designs global security and brokers peace through technology. Tonight, within the radar net of the Cheongung-II protecting the skies of Abu Dhabi, the pride of our people and the bright future of the Republic of Korea beat as one. The following is a video from August 21st, 2025, detailing the development of Korea's stealth canopy. A fighter jet's canopy represents the final, vulnerable gap in its stealth profile. If radar waves penetrate the cockpit and bounce off the pilot's helmet, the seat frame, and display surfaces, the aircraft's radar cross-section, or RCS, will increase dramatically, no matter how well the airframe is shaped or coated. That is why advanced nations apply an invisible electromagnetic shield to a transparent surface. It is no exaggeration to say that outside of the United States, China, and Russia, almost no country has mastered this technology. But recently, news emerged that domestic research teams have built the core system to design and verify that very shield themselves. By localizing the proprietary design software for frequency selective surfaces and the electromagnetic performance measurement equipment for radomes and transparent structures, South Korea has opened a path beyond reliance on expensive foreign imports to creating its own combat-ready stealth canopies. For decades, the United States has developed technology to layer transparent conductive films, like gold or metal oxides, onto fighter canopies. This technique maintains the pilot's visibility while attenuating radar signals. The design achieves a visible light transmittance of 60 to 70% while also providing radar attenuation and static discharge capabilities. South Korea has now established its own design and verification foundation by developing domestic FSS design software and electromagnetic measurement systems for radomes and canopies. This foundation will be used to further reduce radar reflections from the canopy, dovetailing with the stealth enhancement programs for the KF-21X. The significance of this technology is immense, as this independent stealth design capability allows South Korea to accelerate development speed by orders of magnitude while simultaneously overcoming licensing barriers and security risks. The Republic of Korea is now preparing for a new phase where the class of a fighter jet is defined not just by stealth coatings or airframe optimization, but by the thin film of a canopy. The principle behind a stealth canopy is straightforward. Ensure that radar waves are reflected, absorbed, and scattered in a controlled manner at the canopy's surface, preventing them from penetrating deep inside the cockpit and reducing the chance they return to a radar receiver. There are two primary methods. First is the use of a transparent conductive film to manage how electromagnetic waves propagate, thereby lowering the RCS. Here, thin, transparent conductive films like indium tin oxide maintain optical clarity while lowering surface resistance to control electromagnetic waves. The key is finding the perfect process combination of materials and thickness that satisfies the triad of transparency, low resistance, and bandwidth performance. The second method involves integrating a transparent metasurface into the canopy's glass or polycarbonate sandwich structure to selectively transmit or block certain frequency bands or to adjust their phase. An FSS uses repeating micropatterns to engineer a frequency response. The unit cells and stacking order must be designed to operate across a broad spectrum and at wide angles of incidence. The latest research indicates that scattering and absorptive FSS radome technologies are aiming for omnidirectional and broadband designs using concentric, fractal, and multi-layered stacking. Applying this to a canopy means that multiple transparent conductive films and resistive FSS layers must be optimized simultaneously for highly sensitive angles and polarization environments. So, let's break down the revolutionary combination South Korea is engineering. First up, the Dedicated Frequency Selective Surface, or FSS, design, software, and measurement equipment unveiled by the Korea Research Institute of Standards and Science. The core innovation here is twofold. It shatters the massive cost barrier of commercial electromagnetic tools, which can exceed $100 million per license. And it eliminates the security vulnerabilities tied to remote updates from foreign providers. This new system dramatically accelerates the analysis of multi-layered composite structures and parameter sweeps. In simple terms, this means South Korea can now run highly optimized simulations for canopies and radomes quickly and securely, entirely on home soil. This directly translates into major industrial benefits, slashing procurement lead times, cutting unit costs, and reducing the burden of pre-production verification. Next, we have the engineering baseline data for transparent conductive films. A domestic research paper proposed a transparent absorber structure for the X-band, demonstrating that an ITO-based FSS resistive film combination could achieve optically stable electromagnetic absorption even at a 90% light transmittance level, regardless of angle or polarization. This provides the experimental proof that you can simultaneously meet operational demands like pilot visibility, compatibility with night vision gear, and clear lines of sight for the head-up display and helmet-mounted display without compromising electromagnetic performance. It also sends a clear message. For a curved canopy with both single and compound curvatures, a multi-layered design that varies the reflection to absorption ratio for different frequency bands is a far more rational approach than a single-layer solution. Third, let's consider the lessons learned from the world's top-tier examples. The iconic golden hue of the F-22's canopy comes from a thin indium tin oxide, or ITO, coating, which is designed to mask reflection sources generated by the complex geometry inside the cockpit. However, in actual operation, the true purpose isn't the color, it's the control of electromagnetic waves. A look at U.S. Patent documents reveals the real secrets. A multi-layered, transparent conductive film process that allows a polymer-based aircraft canopy to endure harsh conditions, temperature extremes, ultraviolet radiation, thermal shock, and sandstorms while simultaneously achieving low sheet resistance and high transparency. Its external durability is paramount. In other words, the real battleground for canopy stealth isn't the color, but the manufacturing process, its durability, and the meticulous management of sheet resistance. Finally, let's place this within the context of the Korean fighter jet roadmap. The KF-21 was designed from the ground up with shape-based stealth as its foundation, with a phased expansion plan. The next steps toward internal weapons bays and advanced stealth capabilities are now coming into focus. Within this strategic flow, the canopy and the radome were parallel, high-priority challenges that had to be tackled simultaneously. While the airframe itself addresses the internal weapons bay, the canopy is what closes the final loophole where electromagnetic waves can escape. That's why establishing a domestic FSS design and verification system is more than just localizing a component. It's the lever that will produce a noticeable radar cross-section reduction in the next generation blocks. Now, let's outline the practical step-by-step method for enhancing stealth performance, focusing on the canopy. Stage 1. South Korea has acquired the ability to measure its own stealth data using indigenous technology. This involves creating a digital twin of the entire laminated stack, including the curved panel thickness, dielectric constants, adhesive layers, and refractive index matching layers, and running comprehensive simulations covering frequency, angle, and polarization sweeps. Afterward, a standardized correlation process narrows the model's margin of error by simultaneously verifying scaled-down test pieces and actual curved samples. This methodology is crucial for enabling rapid, iterative improvements to both the canopy and radome on a single production line. During this stage, the homegrown FSS-specific tools and measurement equipment deliver wins on 3 fronts at once: cost, speed, and security. Stage 2 is the hybrid transparent conductive film FSS. A 4-layer design is wrapped onto the canopy's curved surface, maintaining an optical transmittance of 85 to 90% while lowering sheet resistance and controlling the absorption to reflection ratio in specific bands. One layer, a resistive FSS, handles absorption, while another continuous film layer manages phase reflection, preventing internal scattering sources from escaping outside. For the unit cells, modified cross, ring, or fractal geometries are more advantageous than simple patches because they are less sensitive to curvature. The spacing between layers must be thin enough to avoid optical distortion, yet precisely aligned to ensure phase accumulation isn't disrupted from an electromagnetic perspective. Stage 3 demands durability and high maintainability. The canopy is directly exposed to the elements. The atmosphere is filled with invisible sand and ice particles, and the canopy must resist environmental factors like ultraviolet radiation and hail. It also has to withstand unforeseen events like bird strikes and exposure to engine exhaust gases. It must endure every possible stress. If the coating cracks or the resistance becomes erratic due to scratches, moisture absorption, or thermal shock, the entire RCS management system collapses instantly. This makes process stabilization, which integrates the outer durable coating with the intermediate adhesive layer and dielectric surface pre-treatment, absolutely essential. For maintenance, the ability to perform localized repairs and recoat large curved surfaces with recuring capabilities is critical to significantly reducing lifecycle costs. Finally, and this is the most important point, export control and technological sovereignty. Canopies and radomes are on the front lines of ITAR, International Traffic in Arms Regulations. This is because the core of the regulation isn't the component itself, but the design tools, measurement methods, and process recipes. By possessing a complete package suite of localized toolchains and experimental methods, South Korea can rapidly propose customized stealth tuning tailored to the mission environments of foreign clients. This means they can price their product based on its RCS performance rather than just component cost, and the delivery speed becomes a strategic asset. South Korea can offer a unique trifecta of capabilities aligned perfectly with a customer's wartime and training schedules. And this technology extends beyond a single aircraft model to missile radomes, large unmanned aerial vehicle, transparent structures, and even the absorptive scattering windows of radars. In short, the canopy is just the beginning. It's a modular hub for an entire export ecosystem. Now, for the conclusion, let's nail down the absolute key takeaways. A stealth canopy is not simply a window you look through, it is a set of precise numbers. The true contest is a battle of materials, processes, structures, and optimization to simultaneously hit targets for light transmittance, sheet resistance, bandwidth, angular stability, and durable maintainability. And now, South Korea holds the tools to generate those numbers itself. By localizing FSS-specific design tools and measurement equipment, it has secured the technology to rapidly design, test, and ultimately calibrate its canopies and radomes. The path for the next block is now crystal clear. Elevate the shape-based stealth one more level with internal weapons bays, and then systematically drive down the RCS by sealing electromagnetic leaks with the canopy and radome. So, just how impressive is the stealth technology South Korea is developing? Let's compare it with what other nations are doing. The United States matured its canopy technology through durable manufacturing processes, using ITO and multi-layered transparent conductive films. In contrast, South Korea can establish a different set of strengths. Rapid improvement and a lower life cycle cost, achieved through a hybrid FSS and transparent conductive film approach combined with domestic toolchains. This combination will shine brightest on the export stage. This is because Seoul can present a complete package schedule, budget, and performance, all while guaranteeing custom tuning for each aircraft type and ensuring confidentiality. In the end, a single sheet of canopy becomes the switch that changes the entire weight class of South Korea's stealth program. The landing of the UAE's C-17 inches, Daegu was far more than just another arms export deal. It was a pivotal moment where the world witnessed a profound shift in technological power. South Korea is no longer a follower. By achieving full autonomy in FSS technology and RCS optimization, Seoul is setting a new global defense standard: maximum efficiency with optimized cost. The lesson is clear. In this new era, the nation that masters stealth algorithms and core design software holds the key to global security. Vanguard Arms will continue to track this journey. Stay tuned.